Alright, while I'm doing this, they could just watch you. I need to find the, I need to go for the comments. Say something. Welcome, everybody.
Something. Welcome, everybody, to our weekly meeting.
I really doubt they hear that.
Oh, Walter, stop complaining.
Alright, so. Are you ready?
You're a handful today.
Well, for a split second, you have to do something on your phone. Alright, welcome, everybody, to our March 15th weekly video newsletter. We're going to go down through our agenda as we always do. And apparently there's nothing new and exciting. Do you have anything new and exciting?
No.
You look excited. That's nothing new. Get it?
You're just a handful today. That's all I can say.
Well, we might as well tear right into our bad jokes. Are you ready? Here we go, Alex. I can't believe I got fired from the calendar factory. All I did was take a day off.
That is not even funny.
I have a dog to provide me with unconditional love, but I also have a cat to remind me that I don't deserve it. It's all a balance.
That's a very true story.
Don't spell part backwards. It's a trap. Today, a man knocked on my door and asked for a small donation towards the local swimming pool. I gave him a glass of water.
You would do that, though.
Most people are shocked when they find out how bad of an electrician I am. There's a new restaurant called Karma. There's no menu. You just get what you deserve.
We must really not have anything to talk about today.
That's our bad jokes for the day. Some of them were good. Like, I like the one about the electrician. Most people are shocked to find out how bad of an electrician I am. So our our fun pool fact. Let me fix it. There we go. So why don't you read them the fun pool fact?
The term scratch, when a player accidentally pockets the cue ball, comes from the early days of pool, where the penalty for such an action resulted in a point being scratched off the player's score. They kind of did that like on a chalkboard.
But have you ever wondered that? I have. Why they call it a scratch.
I'm surprised you didn't know. You all know a lot of those useless facts.
So everybody's saying hello, hello, everybody.
Hello.
Don't forget to send your questions in if you have any. So we're going to start out with a gigantic shout out to my lovely wife.
Oh, shush.
And we're also going to do a shout out to the crew at the Toad Creek Pub and the Toad Creek Pub for doing a fabulous job in Megan Hudson's
Wait, I have to
benefit.
go back. They raised $4,370 at that tournament, which is crazy.
I didn't even know the people in Top 10 had that much money put together.
Oh my God, Walter. So the challenge, and I'm going to put it out there to you, is there is another tournament being held for Megan Hudson in April, is it, Walter? I think
April.
Kayla Hinkle's putting it together. There's going to be twice as many people, so let's try to beat that goal.
For those of you who don't know, Megan Hudson was a bartender at the Toad Creek Pub, and she was very popular.
She was a player of ours.
She had a sudden passing.
And everyone's trying to raise money for the little girls that...
Kayla Hinkle is reminding us that it's April 7th.
April 17th, so get a hold of her if you want to sign up, and the goal is to beat $4,400 that day. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think?
I am reading the comments right now. John said, "Don't forget Perry, April 17th," and I was trying to think what's he talking about. He's talking about the same thing as Kayla. Okay, so what do I think about one? I was distracted. I was trying to read the comments as they were coming in. What do I think?
Did I win the socks?
As far as I know, you won the socks.
Who has my socks?
The socks in the Chinese auction.
I'm so excited.
You probably put enough in the Chinese auction to pay for them outright.
I don't think so. They're expensive socks.
But anyway, that's a big shout out to those guys for raising a boatload of money.
Kayla has my socks. Yay!
And So last week event was Megan Hudson. Yeah, we're there. All right. So this coming, we have the first round of the World Pool Qualifiers.
And by the way, the Toad Creek looked really nice inside.
Oh, the Toad Creek looked great. Great job out there, guys.
Really great job out there. And you know me, I'm not a fan of going anywhere where there's smoke. And the smoke eater or whatever they did, I mean, I didn't have a problem at all.
Okay, Kayla Hinkle says she has your socks and she is wearing them. Jim Strauss says, do I mail the World Pool Qualifier sheet in or do I give it to you on Sunday when we shoot? Bring it on Sunday, right? The certification statement.
What are we having this? What was he talking about?
All right. Okay, everybody, help me out here. What did I just say is our event?
Is that the sheet, the preference date sheet, or this? He didn't clarify.
The skill level certification sheet.
You bring it.
Okay.
If you decide to put it in the mail, you'll have to fill out a whole other one.
Jim, bring that with you. By the way, we will be. I just posted that on Facebook, so if you guys could
Did you pin it to the top?
Print it, and if you guys could print that and then get all your players to fill it out this week, that would be greatly helpful, and then you don't have to chase them all down, because a player is not eligible to play at the qualifier until they sign that sheet. And we also need to post the rosters. I've gotten like 3 calls today already for the rosters, so I will post them. So,
should you write that down, maybe?
No, I know to do that.
You do?
I do, yes.
Okay.
So, let me scroll here. Don't worry about Chris's text right now.
Oh my God. Well, you're so bossy.
Well, if he wants, he could put the question in here now. If it was important, he would type it in the comments.
He probably doesn't even know that.
Okay, well, I can wait a few minutes till we're done here. You call me bossy. I'm trying to keep you focused is like entertaining a 2-year-old.
Just write a list and tell me what I can do, what I can't do, what I can say, what I can't say. Just post it in the bathroom mirror every morning so I don't get into any more trouble.
She's all mine. So the first round of the World Pool Qualifier is this Saturday and Sunday. Good luck to everybody that is coming. So now we are on to our rule reminders. So our rule reminder this week is I was having a conversation earlier and we were talking about the senior skill level.
That's not the rule reminder. We went over this.
I have a couple of them.
Oh.
So the rule reminder as stated in the team manual is limited number of senior skill level players. Senior skill level players are those that are a level of 6 or higher. Teams may not field more than 2 senior skill level players in a match. A violation of this rule has officially occurred when the rack is struck in an individual match, blah, 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 blah. In other words, in either format, you can't play anything higher than a 6 twice. Although, mathematically in 8-ball, it's impossible anyway. If you play 2 7s, you have to play 3 3s. So, I guess you could, yeah, it's impossible to play 2 senior skill level players, or else you're going to break the 23 rule. So that's that rule reminder. So now we're going to talk a little bit about scorekeeping.
Now what are you doing?
Uh-oh. I might have got the wrong slide in there. Oh, that's the problem. Technology. There we go. Close hits. So there was a big issue with close hits this week, wasn't there?
There sure was.
So here's the rule. Potential bad situations are usually fairly obvious. Disputes over those situations can almost always be avoided by having a third party agreed upon by both shooters to watch a shot. The sitting team should protect itself by stopping the game prior to the shot. The shooter is required to stop if their opponent wants the shot watched. Once an agreed upon third party asks to watch a shot, the third party's call will stand and cannot be disputed. In general, the shooter has the advantage in close hit situations. If the outside party cannot determine which ball was struck first, such as a simultaneous hit, the call goes to the shooter. Teams involved in repeatedly calling bad hits without third-party verifications may be subject to sportsmanship violations and may have points deducted at the discretion of the local league management. Note, if a third party is not asked to watch the hit and the hit is disputed, the call will tend to favor the shooter.
So essentially, if the entire bar is yelling, "That's a bad hit, that's a bad hit," and the shooter doesn't think it's a bad hit, it's not a bad hit. Call goes to the shooter regardless.
Correct, because no one was called in to watch the shot.
Right.
And it's been my personal experience that the shooter 99.9% of the time, if they think they didn't foul, they think they didn't foul. They're not just making it up.
Yeah.
However, if somebody wants to be a smarty pants and call good hits when they were bad hits repeatedly, they will update.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say if no one's,
I know, but like just saying that, like for people who now see this, they're like, oh well, if there's nobody was called in, I can call whatever I want. What happens to them?
Well, again, I'm not there, so I don't know if it was a good hit.
Okay, so let me rephrase my question. Let's say that we have a board of governors, and enough people say that a person is repeatedly not calling bad hits. What happens to them?
I don't know. What?
They get kicked out of the league. We've kicked several people out of the league for not calling hits on themselves when they did. Don't you remember?
No.
You don't remember like the teams at Tri-Cup and stuff that were booted out of the league because the player kept refusing to call bad hits and the whole place would see it?
Don't. Well, my memory is only like 30 days.
Well, at any rate, the penalty is very severe for trying to take advantage of that rule. Just keep that in mind. John Stupak is asking if you got his email.
I did get your email, John.
Okay. He is texting while taking a shower. That must be Chris. I hope it's not John. I don't know why she would know that about John. Jose Cuervo.
Well, it's a pretty close-knit group over that way.
Actually, they are. We will get that skill level certification sheet in the mail. I posted it up on Facebook. Now, if you don't have one, we will have them at the tournament. You just got to chase your players down and get. But for example, if you have an eligible player that you need to use as a forfeit and they haven't signed that skill level certification sheet, you cannot use them for a forfeit. So keep that in mind, captains.
Yeah, you want to get everybody to sign.
Mike Keck says, when sending in score sheets, do we send in the score sheet or can we just email it? They can just email it, right? But they have to hang on to the original in case they make
You can email it. Make sure when you take a picture, it's a clear picture and it's a picture of just the score sheet. Not the table, not your shoes. And you can email it. Hold on to the original. By now, I would hope that most people would be doing electronic scorekeeping.
And you got to talk. I can't.
I don't know what you're doing, and I want to get yelled at.
I'm preparing the next slide. So there's no scorekeeping video this week because we were just figured we would talk about it. And we're kind of focusing on fouls and calling your own fouls. So here is off again.
I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it's just pool. I mean, there's no need to get into any kind of arguments or lose friendships over or have any kind of bad blood. It's a game, and
so while we're talking about fouls and calling your own fouls.
So you asked me to talk and then you interrupt me.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm done now.
So also, this is from the etiquette of the team manual. It says, call your own fouls. Don't wait for a foul to be called on you or to be asked if you committed a foul. Players with integrity call their own fouls and tell their opponent when they have ball in hand or hand their opponent the cue ball. That is good etiquette. We want that to be practiced at the World Pool Qualifier too. I know I've talked to more than one player. It's like, well, if I foul and they don't call it, it's not a foul. Yes, it is.
Randy, yeah, the home team should be keeping a paper score sheet. I'm, as much as I like electronic scorekeeping and I really want everybody to do it, I'm not so sure that all the glitches have been worked out yet. So, the purpose of keeping that score sheet is in case or in any event the electronic score sheet does not come through. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but
still got bugs in it, doesn't it?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. What do I know?
And on that previous slide, it said, do not engage in conversation while you're with your opponent in conversation while they are shooting. I didn't see it. You got it, buddy.
Mike Heck just posted something.
Okay, thank you. Walter, it's looking good to start my 9-ball Sunday team in Riften Firehouse for next session. I'm stoked. Okay, Ron, that's cool.
Wonderful.
That's awesome news.
Hi, Abby.
So, so that's our etiquette and our scorekeeping. And remember, one thing I always tell everybody in the player meeting is when you come to the World Pool Qualifier, there's absolutely, or there, I know we practice good sportsmanship during the week, but remember, there's absolutely no advantage to calling a third party to watch your own hit.
You have to go out.
That's your. She always has to go out in the middle of the meeting. That's.
Can you believe she ate all my jelly beans? My Starburst jelly beans?
Yeah, and she doesn't put on 10 pounds like we do.
I know, right?
Um.
Come on, my love.
Where was I? I was talking about fouls. Oh yeah.
No advantage.
Yeah, there's no advantage. Somebody to watch your own hit. But however, if you are playing somebody and you think there's any risk of a foul, please call them in. We don't want somebody to not go to Vegas because of a bad a foul that was not called or something like that. And be honest. So the score sheet message. This is yours.
Poor sportsmanship will not be tolerated. Heated arguments, throwing of anything, foul language, sharking, being a sore loser, and any other form of poor sportsmanship will result in disciplinary action.
There was some excitement this week, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, and apparently the other night at pool there was a situation where whoever was shooting was hitting the rack so hard, like balls were flying off the table, not just the cue ball. So there's more to that story. I'll tell you later. But I mean, come on.
I remember a certain player when we were in Haven that when they were doing that, when we were shooters. Thank God they didn't hit you with the cue ball, else we would not be league operators today. That's all I got to say about that. I'll tell you about it later.
I vaguely remember that.
I was serious with what I said that night. I wouldn't have cared. There comes a point when it's like, it's ridiculous.
So just be kind to each other. There's so much crap going on in the world, and pool is such an outlet.
Oh.
Freaking kidding me? Wow.
I thought I would add to that. You didn't like that?
No. Anyway, be kind to each other.
All right. By the way, I did say earlier that I will post the rosters for the World Pool Qualifiers since nobody can remember back a year ago. I can't remember the rosters from last week, let alone back a year ago, so I don't blame them for asking.
No, we don't have a routine with anything anymore.
And as always, please remember to clean up after yourself and tip your servers.
Tip your servers.
There's two things that get a bar kicked out of a team kicked out of its host location: when they don't buy nothing and when they don't tip nobody. It's pretty rare that happens, but it does once in a while. So
I think the rudest thing is when you bring outside food into an establishment.
Oh, I agree with that. That's like, I'm sorry, and I know the players that do this, and I know that they're very respectful citizens, and I know quite a few of you are like hardcore APA shooters, but it is just our opinion.
Yes, and it's not like there's no signs anywhere that say no outside food.
It should just be obvious.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I understand if the place doesn't have food. Correct. And they have a policy, but when they have food and then you bring in like McDonald's, and McDonald's, I'm sorry, people, McDonald's is absolutely the most shittiest food that I could eat. I'm sorry for you people that work there. I know there's millions of people that eat. This is just my opinion.
You'll eat a fillet of fish any time of the week.
Only if I have to.
But at any rate, you've got to remember the host locations are there to...
They're trying to make money.
Make some money.
I apologize to my friends that work at McDonald's.
I don't know how to do this.
Okay. That was one of those where I engaged the mouth before I thought about it. But anyway.
Yeah, that's not good. You can't be bashing businesses, Walter.
I know. I appreciate them. They make us... They give our shooters the opportunity to...
So you should apologize to all of those McDonald's.
So I'm sorry to anyone that works at a McDonald's. And I know who you are. Becky and Deb and John and... I'm sorry.
Brittany.
But anyway, my point is, most places do have acceptable food. Just eat it. They're trying to stay in business. So on to today's birthday. Honey, you can get them later.
What? Stop.
You can get the messages
Stop.
later.
Focus on your meeting.
Anyway, today's birthdays.
Eugene Hoy, who has no phone number.
Silent Jim Robinson.
Bernard Rodriguez.
That's it.
Please make sure that your players on your team have updated their profile with their name and address, email address, correct ones.
Alicia Stevens is what makes players from the 2020 spring roster ineligible to play besides matches played? Well, what makes them eligible is the easier question. They just have to be on an active team, right?
No, I mean, no, because a lot of people from those teams aren't playing because of COVID.
So essentially, if there's play in their area, they need to be playing, if at all possible, and they have to have had 4 matches, right?
Mm-hmm. There's so much gray area. You know what I mean? Because you can't really punish somebody because they didn't want to play because of COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they will have to play in the summer session.
If they get qualified for Vegas,
yeah,
is it guaranteed?
Yeah,
they will have to find a place.
100%, and maybe fall, since I'm not sure when that trip is.
It's the end of October.
So yeah, summer and fall sessions.
What else do we got? I think that's it, right?
I don't think we have anything.
I don't see any more questions. And I'm sorry again about my strong opinion on outside food there. I do feel strongly about that.
I feel strongly about it too, but you don't have to call people out.
I know.
I
didn't call anybody out. I just gave my opinion, which I should not do.
No, you should not do. You're not supposed to have an opinion as a business owner.
That's true.
All right. Are you done?
I am done. So we will watch for the video, and if you have players that are asking about it, it's up on our Facebook channel.
Do we have a Facebook channel?
We do. Blue Mountain APA. That's where all our videos go after we do them.
I thought they went to YouTube.
Oh, it is YouTube. Thank you. You are correct.
For once.
So anyway, have a great day, everybody, and we will talk to you soon, and take care.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.